Okay. Let's reg for depth charges here.
Jawohl. 70. Herr Galloy, ich habe eine große Gruppe von Schiffen festgestellt.
As you can see, you can hear the faint, some faint pings, some active sonar.
100.
One of the things I'd like to talk about, and I haven't talked about really, is sonar. I think maybe in our next episode, that's where I was qualified. I was a sonar operator.
110.
And so I think next episode we'll talk about the sonar. I feel pretty good about where we're at right now. I don't think I need to worry about the crew, at least right now. They're not strained, and pings, they seem to be the escorts don't seem to be pinging us. I don't think they have contact on us.
Schiffsschrauben. Direkt über uns, Herr Galloy.
So we'll just keep at silent running. One of the things we might talk about too is the MC system. So that's basically you can call different compartments using this, looks like a little telephone. So you can communicate with the torpedo room, machine room. Instead of having to go directly there, you can use this to communicate. So here you got diesel. I don't know what the
Schiffsschrauben, Herr Galloy.
But so you can also communicate with the con, with the on the top of the sail there too. In the conning tower there, on the top of the sail with officer deck, or you can communicate to various people throughout the boat. And so you'll see those scattered around the ship. Submarines still use those. We still use those to communicate. In areas where they need them. So do we have a... Do we have the MC system in here? Should somewhere. It's in here somewhere. Should be. Right. There should be an MC communication in this diesel room here. I don't see it here. And there it is right there. There's for the stern torpedo room, electrical e-motor room, right? So they can communicate. Looks like he's running in place. A little exercise, I guess, to get the stress out. See if we can find the other MCs. Let's see, is there one in here? Should be one in the near the captain. Pretty sure. Should be, but there isn't. I thought there would be, or at least somewhere close by that the captain can communicate. I don't know. I thought there would be somewhere. I don't see it. Yeah. But anyways. My clock is broken. It's not working. Okay. Wow, looks like we might have got away with this one.
130.
Seems like they're not using active sonar to find us. So we'll let them pass, stay down, and then maybe come up and make another run from get ahead of them, and see if we can get another bite at the convoy. All right. So we secured from paddle stations.
120.
We're just we went up to the surface, periscope depth. Still have destroyers in the area, so we decided to go back down. Stay down for a little bit longer. Seems like it's pretty active up there. Lots of destroyers, lots of escorts up there. A lot of people hunting for us. So we'll stay down for a little bit longer. We got plenty of air, plenty of battery capacity. Yeah, so lots of destroyers, corvettes, lots of activity still above us. Seems like it's a pretty active area. So I was going to try to retrieve some of the survivors, but it's just too many escorts out there. Too many people hunting for us. So we're going to stay down for a little bit longer than I thought I would, but we have plenty of torpedoes. We'll keep patrolling and hopefully run into another convoy. I don't think we're going to go and go for that convoy again. There's just too much activity in this area for some reason. As you can see, we've secured from depth charges, letting the men sleep a little bit after that bout of activity, and let them get rested. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, we surfaced the boat close to where the lifeboats were. Still a lot of activity in the area. We're going to go ahead and see if we can cover some of the survivors. I wasn't going to do it, but I turned around, checked the area out, and then we surfaced the ship. So I think we have a chance to recover some of those survivors. All right, so we're just going to get on our way, continue our patrol. We got some of the survivors on board. And let's get out of the area.
Herr Kaloy?
All right, we came to inspect some funnel smoke on the horizon. Turns out there's a hunter-killer group here, just off our starboard bow there. Corvette, another Corvette, so maybe 3 Corvettes. So anyways, we're going to maybe go deep. All right, seems like a lot of activity in the area. We're going to go ahead and while we were down, we did noticed that there was some lone merchants possibly moving away from us up ahead, and so we're going to see if we can catch up to one of those lone merchants. All right, we've caught up to the merchant. We're going to get in position. Probably going to do surfaced torpedo action. It's pretty rough out there. And we got to watch out. There might be a hunter-killer group over there. Port side there, and it might be another one on that side. So we're going to try to take care of this really fast. If they're neutral shipping, which they might be neutral, we might have to take care of this. I don't know if we need to have them evacuate the ship. We'll probably have to inspect it, but we'll have to make it really quick, because as soon as that hunter-killer group, as soon as they radio, I'll probably be in trouble. So try to make this quick and dirty. So it's a Swiss freighter, Swiss merchant. I'm going to go ahead and inspect them. All right, just on the other side of that merchant is some destroyer. So we're going to go ahead and
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
go ahead and board this ship, make it quick. All right, so after climbing the deck, your crew faces a cold welcome from the cargo ship's crew. What do you want? All right, so we're going to ask for the shipping documents. Yeah, that's what we thought. All right. They were trying to smuggle some goods to Britain under a false flag. All right. So we're not going to search the cargo. We're going to order evacuation. All right. Let's see here. Can we go to the engine room? Plant explosives. All right. All right.
Legen Sie den Kurs an.
All right, we got to dive.
Feindliche Flugzeuge auf.
Alarm tauchen!
12 Uhr.
Let's get out of here.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Climb in. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, no.
Wechseln auf E-Motor.
Auf Seerohrtiefe. 30.
Tauchen auf 50 Meter!
Herr Kaloy, ich habe eine große Gruppe von Schiffen festgestellt.
All right, we're gonna have to take care of that freighter.
Herr Kaloy, ich habe eine große Gruppe von Schiffen festgestellt. Vermutlich
Unfortunately,
ein Geleitzug.
there we go. Okay.
Schiffsschrauben, Herr Kaloy. Herr Kaloy, ich habe eine große Gruppe von Schiffen festgestellt.
I don't think the distance really matters. I'm not sure if the impact pistols if there will be an issue. But
Rohr 5!
Schiffsschrauben,
Besser!
Herr Kaloy. Rohr 5 bewässert.
Los!
40 Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag. 30 Sekunden. 20 Sekunden. 10 Sekunden bis Einschlag.
all right.
Treffer. Feuer an Deck. Schwere Schäden am Rumpf.
Okay. Should start sinking now. Hopefully the aircraft don't see the periscopes. There she goes. All right. All right. Looks like we have Hunter Killer Group headed our way. Aircraft are also kind of buzzing around. But we're going to try to chance this. I really don't want to have to deal with the Hunter Killer Group. I'd rather deal with the aircraft. I feel safer dealing with the aircraft than the Hunter Killer Group. But we're gonna get out of here as fast as we can, flank speed. We're gonna go ahead and assign our weapons officer to flat guns.
Alarm! Auf Gefechtsstation!
And we're going to go ahead and let's get going as fast as we can out of the area. And there they are. Hopefully, hopefully they're slower than we are. They're not firing at us yet, so it doesn't appear that they've seen us yet. Probably going to secure from battle stations, just to give my crew a rest, just in case they have to be ready for. Just in case they have to be ready for if we have to go submerged. Make sure that we get all our water out. Right. All right. So it does look like we've got some aircraft there we're going to have to deal with. Go ahead and do a quick course change here.
Kurs setzen.
Feindliche Flugzeuge auf 10 Uhr.
Alright, he's going down.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
And we got another aircraft coming up here. Here he is. Come on. Okay, he's going down. See if we can get the pilot. If we can rescue the pilot. All right, we might be able to rescue the pilot here. At least one of them. All right, we rescued one of the pilots. Get on our way.
Schneller, schneller! Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Sorry, guys. Couldn't make any more of you. It's the first time I've actually rescued a pilot. There she is. Is that the Flying Sutherland? Somebody will correct me, I think. Maybe it'll say it's on the map here. Yeah, she's a dangerous bit of kit there. Curious how long they float. The game, I mean, you know, I wonder. You fix, they fix the holes and to float for a long time. I don't know. All right. I don't feel we're far enough away from the hunter-killer group to dive, and we got another aircraft here.
6 Uhr.
He's coming up behind here. Make a course correction.
Legen Sie den Kurs an.
There he is. See if my gunnery skills are any better this time. Alright, there she goes, another one down.
Kurs setzen.
I don't have enough room to pick up the pilots. Alright, wow, the Celtic Sea is just full of activity. Aircraft, hunter-killer groups, destroyers. I'm thinking that this is not the safest place to be hunting these days. Alright, looks like we've run into another lone merchant. This time I don't see any, well, there's a group over there, just on the horizon, just over the horizon I should say, a possible hunter-killer group. We're going to go ahead and intercept this merchant and see if they're a smuggler. Probably are, or if they're an allied enemy merchant, or an enemy merchant from the allies. It's hard to tell. Looks like it might be British. It's hard to tell from this distance, so we're gonna get a little closer. Definitely, we're gonna do some torpedo actions. Definitely torpedo, surface torpedo action. Too rough for gunnery. All right. So it's from Portugal, Portuguese ship. So probably a smuggler. So let's go check her out.
What do you need, officer?
All right, go ahead and plant some explosives. I think it should be sinking any minute now, but
Legen Sie den Kurs an.
wonder, did our sapper not do his job? I feel like it's sinking, but it's hard to tell.
Höhenbruch, Sie sinken.
All right, there she goes. All right, well, seems like our luck is changed a bit. We got another lone merchant there. I don't know if that's a convoy in the distance there. It's hard to tell. It's like a lot of smoke there. So we might want to check that out after we take care of this one lone merchant. All right, we're chasing down this merchant here. Definitely a British merchant. We got a group of funnel smoke just south of us. I want to make sure, you know, it shouldn't be shouldn't have to worry about. They're so far away. I don't have to worry about the hunter-killer groups, I don't think. But I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for torpedo action here. See how well I do on my surface torpedo with the zigzagging ship here. About 8 knots. Probably sped up a bit. Course. Set. Distance. Set. Okay, let's try it.
Sehr wohl, Herr Kaloy.
Rohr
Try
1,
one.
bewässern.
Rohr 1
Los!
bewässert.
Okay, turning away from us. Yeah, little bugger.
Torpedoversager.
Yeah, he's gonna be a problem.
Schneller, schneller!
Sehr wohl, Herr Kaloy.
Okay, try this one more time. Let's go magnetic,
Rohr 3,
see if that works.
bewässern.
Okay,
Rohr 3
Los!
bewässert.
okay.
40 Sekunden bis Torpedoeinschlag. 30 Sekunden. 10 Sekunden bis Einschlag. Torpedoversager.
All right. 2 duds, all right. Looks like we're just gonna have to get the crew wet here.
Schneller, schneller! Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Bestätigt.
Okay. Oi. Okay. Make this fast here. Oi. Hold on, man. Definitely would not be doing this in real life, I don't think. And that's probably one thing they might want to think about in the game. I don't know if the developer wants to think about impact of rough seas on being able to use guns.
Feuer an Deck.
Make this.
Wir haben ihn. Sie sinken.
All right, there we go. Let's get you guys in before you drown. All right. Get these extra points here.
Abgebrochen.
All right. Well, I thought I'd talk a little bit about sonar on this episode. I know I'd mentioned it last time. We're going to go ahead and climb up real fast. All right, get to the bridge here. And see. It's pretty rough out there. Let's see, can I climb up here? All right. All right. So if you can see at the front of the boat there, that's the KDB sonar array that we have. So the U-boat, it's I believe it starts off with the GHG, which is the Gruppenhochrat. My German is terrible. and that is your starting hydrophones. All right. I believe, anyways. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free. So the GHG, it consists of 24 sound receivers, and each of them, 24 each, on the starboard side and the port side, and it's below the water line, and that's near the main ballast tank 5, right? And if we see if I can look underneath there, try. I don't know if they can see or not. I think you can just possibly make him out. Please. I believe those are it right there. I believe that's what's supposed to be modeled. So each of those receivers, each set of 8, is connected through some pressure-resistant trunks with connection boxes, right? So there's 3 on each side pass-throughs through the hull, right? These receivers are powered by 220 volt AC power, which we kind of talked about earlier, with the AC converter, DC to AC converter. Now the KDB, the crystal Baskurat, I can't pronounce German, I'm terrible at it. KDB. It is a rotating hydrophone array, and it consists of crystals, pressure crystals that, when sound hits them, they vibrate. And they produce electricity when that happens. They're crystal receivers, right? I believe there are 6 crystal receivers on that rotating mount. Let's see. See if we can get a good look here. So on this rotating mount here are 6 crystal receivers. On the other end, I believe, is a rubber. I don't know what you call it. It's kind of, there's a rubber backstop, I guess you call it. So the sound that you receive, the sound that's received, you kind of get a better sense of the direction, because that kind of baffles the sound. The power is the same, is powered by AC. But those crystal receivers, when sound in the water hits those crystal receivers, they produce electricity. They produce a current, I believe. Right? And so why did it? All right. So let's head to the sonar room. All right. And boy. All right. So here we are. Okay. So this is the sonar receiver. This is where the sonarmen sit and make adjustments. They sweep through the bearings, looking for contacts. So sonar is, if you don't already know, it's an acronym for sound, navigation, and ranging. And so when the ship is submerged, sonar is the main way that the submarine can tell what's going on outside of the ship, right? When submarines submerge, they're basically blind. They're like almost like sonar, sorry, kind of like bats almost, right? Except you really can't see without sonar if you're submerged. All right. So what we do is when we're listening through the different bearings, we're listening for ships that are moving through the water because they make noises, right, from machinery, from the propellers. The main way that we tell if it's a contact is from the propellers usually, because that's one of the loudest things that you can hear. The machinery, motors are definitely loud. You can hear the hum of machinery, the chunk of in this time period, probably they had maybe some steam, the boiler rooms, steam engines, and so you could hear the chunk of the engines. You can also, if you're close, if it's quiet enough and you're close enough, you might be able to hear the sound of the water also hitting the side of the ship's hull. So this instrument here takes on the information that it receives from the GHE and KDB receivers. They go through amplifiers. The sound is amplified, and different things are going on to get it to this. You don't to get it to your headphones here. The headphones on these are very specialized headphones, and you don't want to lose them. They're expensive. Right. So, let's see, do they have it? I don't want to turn around because it. So, let's see here. Whoops. Sorry. So, sonar, you have an amplifier, and that might be in the torpedo room, but it might be for us in the U-boat. It might be one of these equipments here. I honestly can't tell. It looks like it might be one of these boxes here. I think it might be this one. It's the amplifier, but I'm not for certain. So back to so the noise that that the ships make is both sonic and supersonic, and so you want to be able to listen uh, uh, listen for those noises. So when you're looking at these bearings, uh, these bearings are relative. These are not. This is not like true north or anything. This is the front of the boat, and then down there's the back of the boat. All right. So when you're giving bearings, you're giving relative bearings, not true bearings. All right. So if you hear something from off the starboard bow directly, at 90 degrees relative, um, that's you're going to have to add. So if your ship is going say directly west, well, guess what? This is uh, 90 degrees relative bearing would be true south, right? So sorry, I mean if you're going east, if you're going directly east, this will be directly south, right? And so you got to keep that in mind when you're giving bearings. You want to make sure that you have an idea of the compass heading of your boat, so you know which way you're heading. All right. Um, that's important for plotting when the navigator, when the battle stations team, when they are plotting the bearing uh, to the various contacts. You want to make sure that you know if it's a true bearing or relative bearing, right? Um, so the reason the you know the way this works basically is sound is travels through water, right? It travels through air, steel, whatever. We are basically you're listening for the sounds uh, that are propagated from different things. Could be a biologic, uh, could be aircraft. You can hear things. Sound can propagate from the air to the water. If you're close enough and it's loud enough, you can hear that. Um, and so, if you can imagine how these sound waves start, right? So, uh, an object when it's going through the water, say, um, it there's vibrations when the motors are running, when machinery's running, it vibrates, and that vibration is propagated to the water, and it forms waves, right? As as the particles of water, they get compressed, and they have states of compression, and then rarefaction, right? So you have these waves of sound, right? Um, the distance between one uh, compression to another compression is called a cycle, and so you get frequencies, right? So a cycle is a single back and forth movement of uh, that object, that vibrating object, right? Um, and frequency, which we're very interested in for sonar, frequency is very important because that kind of tells us what kind of machinery it is. All right. Um, that the number of cycles per second is the frequency. All right. So when sound waves propagate through the water, and they're picked up by the hydrophone, um, those sound waves hit the receivers, and that receiver changes. When it hits the receiver, if it's the crystal receiver, it compresses and rarefracts that crystal, and it produces electric currents. And then it goes to the amplifier, and which strengthens those noises so that humans can hear it. So sound waves, I'm going to get it away, I don't want to stick it there too long. But so sound waves travel really rapidly in water. They travel about 4,800 feet per second, right? And all those sounds, whether they're weak sounds or strong sounds, they all travel high frequencies or low frequencies. They all travel at the same speed. But that speed is affected by the temperature of the water, the pressure, and the salinity. All right, and that bends the sound when it travels through the medium. Right, so when it's traveling underwater, those sounds can bend depending on the temperature, salinity, and the pressure of the density of the water. Right, and so this bending of the sound waves is called refraction. Okay, and so what happens is, as an example, usually water is warmer at the top and it's colder at the bottom, and sound waves travel faster in warmer water and higher pressure water, higher pressure and saline water, right? This bending is so this bending, this causes the water to, or sorry, the sound wave to bend upward. All right. So if you can think about it, there's a ship on the surface. It's making noises from its propeller, machinery, all that. It's going to propagate noise out, right? That noise is going to travel, and it's going to kind of start bending upward, right? It may bend upward. It doesn't necessarily have to do that, but that allows us to hear it from great distances, right? So that's why we can hear things from far away. As the distance, obviously, the farther away we are, the sound gets weaker, right? And that when it gets weaker, that weakening is called attenuation, right? Basically, it's as the compressions and rarefactions of the sound waves, as they rub against each other, the particles, sound waves, they lose some of their strength through friction, right? They might hit air bubbles, seaweed, fish, or other things in the ocean too, right? And so some of that strength of the sound waves is absorbed by those obstacles, right? So so the sounds from ships, again, are the propellers. All right, they make a wide band of noise. The ship machinery. You can also hear. Active sonar if an enemy ship is using active. Obviously, you can hear the sounds that they're putting out, and you can hear the sound of the waves hitting the side of the ship, right? And so when we go to sonar school, when we're
Aye, Herr Kaloy.
when we go through sonar school, those are some of the things we learned. The first thing we do is you go through sub school, and then you go to you're also going to basic electronic rate training. So you're learning about electronics, learning how electricity flows and how diodes work and all that. And you're also learning how to be a sonarman, right? You're learning how to report contacts, how to listen for the contacts. What are you listening for? So you listen for you learn about the sounds that ships make, right? And the basics, you learn the basics. So you hear the sound between say a regular boat, like a big merchant, and say a little speedboat. So the big merchant, the propeller is a lot bigger, right? And it's going a lot slower. So you're going to hear those blades going through the water. You're going to hear that, right? You might hear that. For like a little PT boat or a little speedboat, you're just going to hear high pitched, So it's you'll definitely know the difference, right? The machinery noise that you hear, usually you're not going to hear a lot of machinery noise on the small boats usually, but on the bigger boats you might hear machinery noise, but it's not going to be, it's going to be more just going to be like a generator sound, like a humming or something, or it's going to make a noise, and that's a certain frequency, right? It might be a high-pitched humming or low-pitched humming, depending on the machinery. You also have to be aware of what your submarine sounds like, right? You're going to have to be aware of your own noises, right? So when you're searching and you searching around your band, if you're searching kind of behind your boat, or not behind, but kind of toward the stern of your boat, toward the aft, you can start picking up your own machinery noises too. And so you have to be careful. You don't want to call out contact if it's your own boat, right? But usually that's not really a problem. I don't think I've ever had anybody. I don't know that that's a problem. It's pretty obvious if the noise follows you, and it's from the same relative bearing, and it turns with you. It's probably your own boat, right? All right. one of the things I liked to listen to was the shrimp the biologics. You can hear the biologics. You can hear popcorn shrimp and in different. You can hear whales and dolphins and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Right. So when you do get a contact, you want to make sure that you report the contact. You report the contact bearing, 270, whatever, right? And you basically just kind of you follow that contact, right? You might have multiple contacts, so you're going to be logging the contacts. You're going to be writing it down, your initial bearing, where you heard it, and you're going to write down maybe what you think it is, maybe the speed, and you're just going to keep reporting those things to the con, right?
Diese Routine bringt mich um. Jeden Tag das Gleiche.
I don't want to make this too long. But I want to give you guys some good information, though, right? Let's see here. What can I think about? I think. So sorry, just real quick. When you report contacts, you report. You want to make sure you report if it's. You want to make sure you report what you think it is too, right? If you're not sure, just you might just call it a contact. We use different terminology. You learn this terminology to use in sonar school. All right. Let's see here. One of the things they teach you in SAR school is how to do proper sweeps. So when you're doing sweep, you're not just going one full circle and just going round and around, right? So when you're doing a sweep, as an example, right? You have different types of searches, right? You're just so on a rapid search, you just kind of go quickly around, right? You're just looking really, really quick. Is there anything that I hear, right? If you're doing something like a progressive sweep, a progressive search. You're going to turn a certain number of degrees, and then you're going to kind of go back, right? Then you're going to turn some more, two more turns, and then one turn back, and then you're going to do two more turns. And as you're doing this, you're going to be listening. You're going to listen for any contacts, anything. Do you hear anything? If you do hear something, you're going to start playing with the gain and the frequencies and trying to pinpoint. Okay, well, where was it from, right? You might, if you had a contact that was say around 320 degrees relative, you might sweep past it, through it, and kind of give you a sense of exactly where is it coming from, right? So you thought it was 320, but actually it's maybe 318 is the peak, right? So that kind of gives you a sense of where exactly that contact is, because it might be hard to tell exactly where, right? And so you're going to call that contact out at that bearing, and maybe what it is, right? And so then you're going to go ahead and continue after you get that contact, you log it, you continue your sweep, right? And then you might go back to that area, check if the bearings changed, log those bearings, and you're going to check every couple minutes or every minute, depending on how loud it is, right? How close it is, right? Because closer they are, they're probably going to be likely going to be changing and bearing pretty rapidly. If it's farther away, weaker, it might be it's not going to change as much. All right. So you're going to keep those things in mind when you're logging things. All right. One of the things we want to talk about too is how we contact or we count the blades, right? So when you're listening to the contact, if it's a merchant or something like that, you're gonna listen, and then you're gonna listen for the beats, right? You're gonna listen for the swishes, right? And so there's some resonance in these those swishes, right? And so if it's a three-bladed propeller on the merchant, you're going to hear a loud swish, and then swish, 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 right? And if it's a say a four-bladed propeller, you're going to hear a swish, 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 swish. So it's you're going to get that accented beat, and then you're going to have those other beats, right? And so you're gonna listen to that rhythm, all right, and count in your head, all right, and listen for that loud swish, all right. And so what you can do is you can count the number of times that you hear that big swish in a 15-second interval, and multiply before, and you're going to get the revolutions per minute, how fast it's going, how fast is that prop going, right? And so you can make that report, you can log it, and say, and that gives you a sense of how fast it's going. If you hear a swish, 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 it's not really going. It's just kind of going steady. It's just is going not too fast. But if you hear a swish, 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 it's faster. It's going pretty good speed. All right. So you report that RPM, and you keep an ear for that. That's one of the things you listen for, right? Did it change speed? All right. Are there any changes, right? During battle stations, you're going to be reporting that to the con, and they're going to be logging it on the map, and you're going to be keeping busy. You're going to be busy. You might have multiple contacts. You might have torpedoes in the water. If you hear torpedoes in the water, you're going to hear that high-pitched whine from the torpedoes. You might have to listen. You might be listening for your own torpedoes. You listen as the torpedo from your boat heads off. Does it sound right? Does it sound like what it's supposed to sound like, right? You can hear the explosions if it hits something, right? You can hear the depth charge explosions as you're in the water too, right? And you might report those, right? So basically, you are the ears and kind of the eyes of the submarine when it's submerged. You're watching all these things, or keeping track of all these things. The submarine, the captain, the officer deck, they really rely on sonar. Sonar is very important. All of the stations on the submarine are important, but sonar will keep you from running into things, hopefully, right? They will help you sink your targets, right? And so hopefully that wasn't too boring for you guys. If you guys have any questions, there was a lot more that I didn't talk about. I tried to keep it short as I could and give you guys a good amount of information. But if you guys have any questions, or if you have your own experiences as sonarmen, real quick. So sonar also, they take care of the depth sounder, right? So a sonarman will be stationed at the depth sounder when you're in shallow water, or if you're in an area where you're worried about hitting the seafloor, right? You're going to have, right, if you're under the ice in the Arctic or something, you're probably going to have stationed a sonarman here. And when you're here, you're going to be, as a sonarman, you're going to be sitting next to near the nav table there, and you're going to be reporting out. So you'll do a ping at a certain set number of intervals, and you're just going to keep pinging, and you're going to log that data and report that to the navigator. All right? You don't want to hit something. You don't want to hit the seafloor. Definitely, right? But thanks guys for listening to that little spiel that I gave you. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully it wasn't too. Hopefully it wasn't boring for you guys. But we'll go ahead and continue our patrol, and see if we can get some more merchants. All right.